Hey everybody, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him, here to do my daily devotional. I began these devotionals back in the month of March when we were just beginning the quarantine time and kind of like the lockdown time, and I thought this would be a great way to reach out and encourage people during these 2 weeks or so, what I thought. And we all know that things have changed greatly with that whole mindset. And here we are in November. I never expected to be where we are, with the virus, but also with the world and all the other things going on. It just seems that that was just the beginning of so many things that are causing division and pain and disorder and chaos. And I was thinking about it this morning a lot because no matter what side of politics you're on, this really isn't going to be at all about right and wrong and who's, Democrat or Republican. I'm not here to talk about that. But no matter what side of politics you are on, there are people on both sides living and dying without Christ. I have seen so much hate in the media these days, and, it comes from living without Christ. And I believe that no matter what the outcome of the situation that we are in right now, there is going to be major persecution of Christians. There is a lot of hate out there. And I believe that no matter what happens going forward, Christians will be persecuted. And so to me right now, the greater message I have for you in my devotionals, in my ministry, is to seek Jesus above all. This world is a disaster right now and it's a mess, and we must keep our eyes on him or we're going to get discouraged and despair. And also we need to not forget that our purpose here is to build the kingdom and to share the gospel. And don't let hate or fear or circumstances prevent you from sharing the love of Christ, because, Satan wants to do that. He wants us to be hindered from sharing the good news and the gospel. He wants us to feel defeated. He wants us to feel he wants us to be focused on the worldly events and not the heavenly kingdom that is to come. I was just looking in 2 Corinthians this morning. Good place to study right now. I have some questions and some things I'm going to look into further, because I was just reading this morning and got kind of intrigued by certain things and what Paul was going through in his ministry. Guys, Paul suffered in his ministry, and so suffering is nothing new to the Christian. In fact, it's promised to the Christian. So just because we're suffering or persecuted, don't let it take away our message. In fact, let it spur our message on even more. This world is going crazy, but in the middle of it, we as Christians have, the truth of the Bible, and we need to share that, because we might be in for a huge time of disorder and destruction and persecution. And the truth is, aside from the virus, I used to say people are living and dying without Christ every day. Aside from that, people are still living and dying without Christ every day. And our end game hasn't changed, which is to go and make disciples. It says here in 2 Corinthians 10:4, the weapons we fight are not the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. I'm going to say that one more time because I don't have my glasses on. I can hardly see it. 2 Corinthians 10:4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. Christians, we have divine power to demolish strongholds. The media isn't the power. The president isn't the power. The people aren't the power. It says here, it is a divine power that will demolish strongholds. So get on your knees, get in prayer. Sharing every news article out there is not going to change, people's minds. Only the power of God. We are not waging a war with the world as the world does. We have greater spiritual weapons. And like I said, every day, things seem to be getting worse, and there's a lot of hate, and I've seen a ton of hate for Christians, and I don't really understand, when Christians, we preach the message of love and the gospel, why we are seen as the enemy. But to Satan, we are the enemy. So just keep your eyes on him. Get in your word today. Pray. Remember, we do not wage a war on the world with weapons of the world. We have divine power. God is in control. We all know what the end of the Bible says, right? God does win. So just stay focused, stay steadfast, and just keep following him. That's all we can do.